Hi everyone! We are the BSIT students of Cavite State University Silang Campus.
They're excited to help you guys to have an idea
and a point of view about control structures,
how it is used in making a program and its types,
selection and repetition.
Control structure. Control structure alter or manipulate the sequential flow of control. In control structure, a computer can process a program in one of the three ways. The first one is in sequence. Your program is a procedural way wherein it follows a given procedure. The other way is by making a selection, wherein in this process, your program makes choices and it's also called branch. The last one is by repetition, wherein your program executes statements in particular number of times, and these statements are being executed by a structure called loop. There are two types of control structure. The first one is selection or a branch. This program executes particular statement depending on one or more conditions. The next one is repetition or a loop. This program repeats particular statement of a certain number of times depending on one or more conditions. In addition, an expression that has a value of either true or false is also called Boolean expression. And in Java, a condition is either true or false. Control structure 1. Selection. A selection control structure incorporates decision to a program. In Java, there are three selection structure. The first is one-way selection. In this selection structure, an if statement consists of a Boolean expression, is followed by one or more statements. The syntax for one-way selection is if followed by the condition and open curly brace, then statement when the condition is true and close curly brace. The next is the two-way selection. In this selection structure, an if statement can be followed by an optional if statement, which execute when the Boolean expression is false. This is the syntax for two-way selection. If followed by the condition, open curly brace, followed by the statement execute when the condition is true, close curly brace, else, open curly brace, followed by the statement execute when the condition is false, then close curly brace. In multiple way selection, if, else, an if statement can be followed by an optional else if. Else if statement, which is very useful to test various conditions using single if. Else if statement. Now this is the syntax. If followed by condition 1, open curly brace, followed by the statement execute when condition 1 is true, close curly brace, followed by the else if, followed by condition 2, open curly brace, then statement execute when condition 2 is true, close curly brace, else, open curly brace, followed by the statement execute when no one of the above condition is true, then followed by the close curly brace. Here the other way in multiple way selection, the switch statements. A switch statements allow a variable to be tested for equality against a list of values. Each value is called a case, and the variable being switched on is checked for each case. And now, here's the syntax for switch. First, your switch, then the variable, then open curly brace. Then followed by your case value 1, colon, state, then your statement. Then break. The break is optional. Then followed by your case value 2, then your colon, then statement number 2, then break. You can have any number of case of statements.
Then the next is the default, followed by your colon. This is a optional, then follow your default statements, then close curly brace.
After discussing control structures 1, which involves selection, now we will proceed to control structures 2, which involves repetition. In repetition, a program executes a particular statements a certain number of times, depending on one or more conditions. Why is repetition needed? There are many situations in which the same statements need to be executed several times, just like formulas to find average grades for students in a class. In repetition, there are looping mechanisms. The first one is while looping structures, and its components are initialization, condition, increment, and then decrement. These have 4 types: the counter-controlled while loop, sentinel-controlled while loop. The third one is the flag-controlled while loop, and in this type of while loop, the Boolean value used to control the loop. The first one is counter-controlled while loop, and it is used when the exact number of data or entry pieces are known. The second one is sentinel-controlled while loop, and it is used when the number of data entries are unknown, but the last entry, or also called as the sentinel, is known. The flag-controlled while loop.
The next one is the EOF, or the end of file controlled while loop. It is used when the input is from files. The other one is the for loop. It is a specialized form of while loop.
The syntax for while looping structure is while followed by the expression, open curly brace, and then the statement, and then lastly the close curly brace.
The for looping structure: for followed by initial expression, semicolon, logical expression, semicolon, update expression or the increment or decrement, and followed by the open curly braces, and followed by statement and close curly braces. The last one is the do while loop. Do while loop is the opposite of while loop. The syntax of this is do followed by the statement, followed by while and the logical expression, semicolon. Here's the other type of controlled structure: the nested controlled structure. It provides new power, subtlety, and complexity. In this structure, if else, and switch structures can be used within while loop. And also, for loops can be found within other loops.
Choosing the right looping structures. The 3 loops that we have discussed earlier have their own places in Java. First, if you know and the program can determine in advance the number of repetitions needed, the for loop is the correct choice. The second one is if you do not know and the program cannot determine in advance the number of repetition needed, and it could be 0, the while loop is the correct choice. And the last one is if you do not know and the program cannot determine in advance the number of repetition needed, and it is at least 1, the do while loop is the right choice.
This is all for our today's tutorial. Hope you learn! Bye!